Whoa! Oh! Son of a gun. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Check it out, we're at the park with the CHUCK Transplant from the Parrot Disco. This is a JXD 525 GPS glider that actually has been modified. It's bigger than the Disco, but check it out, that looks familiar, right? That's the Parrot Disco CHUCK, and a Mac Daddy 3S 5P 17,000 actually, 500 mAh battery pack in there. And this is the 4G antenna. As you can see, it's got a different motor on there, totally different plane than the Parrot Disco, but it's got the CHUCK. And today we're gonna do the Maiden flight test. Now this thing was done by Justin from UAVPAL.com. Go ahead and check that out. Check out his site and also UAVPAL. I'll have the links down in the description so you can check both those guys out. Pretty awesome. He did this all himself and sent it to me. It's just a complete transplant. He got the center of gravity perfect. He got the right Leopard motor on there, and he just got everything down pat. Same Disco propellers, and that's pretty much it. Just the propeller and the CHUCK are from the Parrot Disco. Everything else is different. There's a hole cut out in the front here for the actual CHUCK camera, and then you can see the pitot tube, just a little bit of a modified top of the 525 glider. You can actually get this glider, just the actual shell. I'll have the link in the description where you can get it, and then you can do this if you wanted to yourself. So this is going to be the Maiden flight, basically the 4G mod that's been out for a while. One thing that's been updated is there's been a few software releases. I do have a 64 gig micro SD card in here that is going to give us 64 gigs of recording. The new firmware on the 4G mod actually enables you, once you slip a card in here, it changes from recording just to the 32 gig on the CHUCK to actually enabling you to have a higher capacity card in the 4G modem itself. Since this thing's probably going to hopefully fly for like 2 to 3 hours, the 32 gig on board wouldn't be enough, so that's why it's so awesome to have. This isn't going to be a full-on flight time test, just a maiden flight just to make sure everything's good. We're going to launch it up in the air. I'll have the iPad screen recorded, and we're just going to really see how this thing flies. It's a little heavier, but it should handle even more wind. You can see how it's a pretty awesome design there. Looks like a stealth plane. So anyway, let's get started with the Maiden flight. This thing's been sitting here for a bit. Now remember, this is my full-on Maiden flight, so we're really gonna get kind of nervous on these, but all seems good. And Justin, the guy who made this plane for me, said put your finger right there in this hole and just kind of do like a football launch with it. Anyway, launching, pressing launch, and I'm just gonna stand up and throw it. Wish me luck. Whoa! Oh! Son of a gun. Still trying. Stop. Okay, fail. And you know why? It's probably because the wind is coming from a little bit of a breeze that way. So it is a heavier plane, so it's going to take a little bit more oomph to throw this thing. There's really not much wind though. So let me just do a damage assessment, and then let's try that again. Man. Okay, camera did hit. Wings popped out a little bit. That's exactly what I was afraid of doing, is launching it wrong. It kind of flipped over, but there's no rubbish in the pitot tube. The camera's a little bit scraped from the grass. Okay, well, let's try this again. Man, that's exactly what I was afraid of. And launching now. There we go. It's up. Okay. So that's what I needed to do, is just launch in a little bit of wind and throw it a little harder. Whew. Okay, it's gonna loiter now. Looks like she's doing good. I'm gonna go back over to the chair and get out of loiter, and I'm gonna go straight that way for a ways, since that's where the wind's coming from. I'm so glad that one launched. I hope everything's okay from that little bit of a crash initially. So I really don't have to be in any orientation. But you see how when I turned left, I'm out of the array of the compass of the controller. So it knows it's not pointing towards the craft, but that doesn't matter because we're on 4G. So we're just gonna see that thing kind of blinking on the screen. Awesome, man. So far so good. Connection is pretty good. I'm just gonna go up a little bit, gain some height, get to around. Thanks, honey. Just wanted to be sure I wasn't gonna hit you. 300 feet about. And there's a few cell towers around. So we should have a good connection for a while. And turn to the right a little bit. There we go. Just kind of fly around. I don't want to... Oh, I think I just went into loiter. Yeah, left stick to the right is loiter. Let's go back out of loiter. We'll let it face us. And then we'll go out of loiter. So right stick, I forget, is the actual turning. So we're kind of going with the wind now. And we'll just, like, you know how I do my range test with my drones? We'll just kind of fly this way, guys. Let's check out the stats on the screen. So bottom right, 97% power. Remember, this is the 3S 5P LiPo. Ooh, getting a little bit of blotchy there. It's probably switching towers or something. I'm gonna go up a bit. A little too high. I should probably go down. I'm above 400 feet. Let's go down just below 400. So we have that number on the screen. So a little bit of blotchy there. But that's to be expected because you're switching between cell towers and there may be, you know, kind of bad reception in certain areas. Anyway, I was saying 96% on the craft. My controller is 100%. I think my phone is like at 80% because that is providing the hotspot. So far so good. Gosh. And here you go. Let me press on the compass here. And my maps are coming in. Remember when I did that flight attempt to Molokai? I forgot to link my iPad to my hotspot, and that's why the maps weren't coming up. But they're coming up perfect now. That's where we launched from, right? That's where I am sitting in the chair. That was our home launch point, so it will circle that. When it returns to home, I can still see the craft video view on the bottom left. I am recording in 1080p, guys, on the craft, so I will have that up for you. There is our Disco. Check him out. He's going straight that way towards Kihei. Remember we did that Kihei flight a while back. I did a live flight from here, actually this park, all the way down to the ocean. That was pretty epic, and then I lost connection and it started to come back. We're not going to go that far because this is just the Maiden. I know it can make it, but I just want to be safe, you know. So we're crossing over. Check this out. Let me try to get the camera down so you can see. Whoops, wrong way. So you can see this kind of valley we're crossing over. Oops, we're already passing it. There it is there. Let's try to follow this for a little bit. I'm going to turn to the right. Nice and easy. And while we're doing this, we're just really trying to keep, you know, an eye on how this is going to be. Is it a? No, it's a 480 feed, live feed. If it's recording in 1080, and if it's recording in 720 on the craft, it's a 720 live feed. So that's what this thing, the Chuck, can do. So we'll just kind of follow this valley for a ways. And I will have the Disco video up on the screen at times so you guys can see this in its full 1080p goodness. Okay, lifting the camera up a little bit. And remember, we can adjust our balance, our exposure value is the right roller. So I went up in exposure a little bit. I'm going to go down a bit if it starts to get washed out. And I'm also going to take the craft down just a tad, maybe to around 300, because the mountain does slope down that way. A little bit of pixelation when I did that. Oh boy, I hope we're okay still. We should be alright. Let's lift this camera up. Yeah, I'm still in control. It might be hitting a dead spot and switching to 3G. See what happens when it does that? It gets really pixelated. So I'm just gonna keep trying to follow this valley. It's like a dry valley here. Down a ways. Right about there. I was just turning it left and right to get in there. We'll keep going down a bit. I just don't want to get too high because, you know, the mountain drops so much. And if we do lose connection, it will raise up. So I won't have to worry about it hitting anything. Okay. So we want to just keep going down. We're at 2.6 miles away. And as you can see, we're definitely higher than 60 feet because it does slope way down fast. We're on the side of Haleakala Mountain, so nice smooth little dive here. Nice. Diving while I'm pulling the camera up a little bit. A little pixelation I want to let off because a little pixelation delay. I want to make sure I'm not going into the ground, right? Oh boy. So we kind of lost it. Lost our video. Pretty bad frozen. Okay, there we go. Came back. And so that's what you're going to have to expect sometimes with this mod is you're going to have occasional pixelation. And there's a lot of reasons that could be. One of which, like I was saying, a dead spot in the cell coverage because the antennas are shooting in all different directions, right? So it may be switching into like roaming. I have roaming enabled on my phone and stuff. And so maybe it's switching into a roaming zone where it's a lower throughput, or it could be switching down to 3G because the 4G antennas can't put 4G where this plane is right now. They're a little chop again. You can see how we're kind of crabbing to the left, so there's some breeze here. I might want to start heading into the wind a little more. So I'm going to turn. Let's check out this reservoir here. This might be kind of around Haile Miley. Let's check it out on the map. Where is our plane? There he is. Yeah, so see where we are. Boy, we went way that way. Oh, we could go over the quarry. You see that rock quarry over there? Let's go over there. Let's check that out. We'll go ahead and hit this reservoir. And then we'll go over to the cement quarry. So I think we're good right now with our height. We're probably only a few hundred feet high. I can feel the wind though hitting that sucker, but look at our battery power, 95% still. This is incredible. Like I was saying, 3S 5P, we could fly for probably around 3 hours. I think Justin tested it, and I think he was getting right around 3 hours, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to go down just a little bit, so we can see some of this stuff on the ground a little better. Nice, look at that. Old, really old ruins of maybe a water plant. Oh, this is amazing. Now, remember guys, I had the modem peaked out the top, so maybe that's helping with overheating as well. I think it might have overheated on my way to Molokai. You can see that we maybe hit a dead spot. You're having some problems here. I know we're not too low. We're not going to hit anything. There we go. Video's slowly coming back in. We're just probably hitting a dead spot. So we'll go over this reservoir and then we'll go over to that quarry. See how that is. I'm turning to the right a little bit. Yeah, so there is about a second delay right now. Still doable though. Getting the camera down a little bit so we can check out this quarry. So what I'll have up is occasionally, you know, I'll have like the, or did I call this a quarry? I meant reservoir. I'll have the 1080p up in full screen at times, and then I'll have the iPad recorded so you can kind of see the difference, because we don't want to just look at the choppy video all the time, right? It seems really choppy right here. Really having a hard time. And there could also be a lot of reasons on that. I mean, I'm looking at my phone here, 83%. You know, 2 devices connected. Yep, that's my iPad and the Sky controller. So it's either a really bad spot where the disco is, or maybe there's network congestion, like, you know, my data plan's having trouble. Who knows? 4G, so it could be a lot of things. Okay, so there's our disco. I'm gonna turn to the left and we're gonna go check out this quarry. Just very slow turn. I can see the video. What's cool about this is you got the video there on your bottom left as you're looking at the map. So we'll just go a little to the right. I went a little too far. Right about there. Look at that, West Maui Mountains, beautiful. And we'll just head straight for this quarry. I think this is like the Amron quarry over there. Yeah, look at that. We can brighten this up a little bit. Let's see, yeah, there we go. So I just hit a couple clicks on the right roller and got it a little brighter, because we're kind of facing into the sun now. It might be kind of hard to see. Man, look at this. We're heading into like Kahului. I don't want to get too close to the airport, that's for sure. A little washed out as I went down, so we'll do a few clicks again on the EV. And check that out. That's pretty cool. Gonna go a little closer. Looks like we just connected with a great antenna. So we're having awesome 4G coverage right now. Nice clear tablet picture. There's a base yard with a bunch of trucks in it. And let's get this camera down so it's not washed out. Ooh, check this out. It's a weekend, so I'm sure maybe nobody's working. Let me know if you guys see any trucks moving around. We'll do a few passes here and see if we can see anything going on. You guys see any construction happening? Is that truck backing up? Yeah, that truck's backing up. So they are operating. Neat. Fantastic. We'll do a couple of passes here and then we'll probably come home, because I can really feel that wind nailing it. I'll just do a slow right turn. Check out the perimeter here. See what kind of trucks are doing any kind of work, any construction going on. There's a little silo. So just nice and easy. I'm not worried about flying this far, because you know what, there's nothing out here in these areas except for this kind of stuff. You know, of course you don't want to fly like this over super populated areas and near airports and all that stuff. So, you know, that's the main thing. Fly low enough and don't fly in like the airspace and all that. Cement trucks down there, see them? In that building on the left. This is great. Look at, there's some more cement trucks. Maybe the graveyard, and they're fixing them. It looks like a ditch. Is that a road or a ditch with water? Pick the camera up again, and let's make one more pass here. A hard right turn. Real hard turn, there we go. Whoa, now the wind's really blowing at me. Blowing at my tail. Let's see if we can see where that truck was backing up. Wasn't it like over here somewhere? I thought it was like right down there. I don't know. But this is pretty cool, man. Doing surveillance here on a cement quarry. Pretty awesome. There's a bunch of bulldozers and tractors there. So I'm going to pick the camera up and look at my map real quick and make sure we're going to come back towards us. So you see how I'm going to the left of where I am? I want to turn left, or to the right of where I am. I want to turn left. And yeah, we don't want to get close to that airport. We're already getting close, so stay low and not get anywhere near that place. Going away from it now. Okay, so you see how we're crabbing to the right. Look at that. So that really means that we're getting blasted by wind from our front left side. Look at this. Whew. That bugger's really trying to fight that wind, isn't it? Okay, look at our footage, negative 790 feet. That's because look at this mountain. It really slopes down. So I don't want to keep going straight, otherwise I'm going to run into the mountain, right? So I'm going to have to slowly keep lifting and gaining altitude. And this is where above ground level reading would be amazingly awesome. So you know exactly how high you are for any type of terrain. But I do hope you guys are enjoying this pretty epic maiden flight. And look at our battery, 94%. Lithium ions, man. Did I say 17,500 capacity or 17.3? So we're having a lot of power here. And this thing is working great. Look at my connection now is just, it's been flawless for the past 10 minutes about. I'm gonna go right in that direction, coming back towards us. And you see how we're getting closer to the ground. I'm gonna lift up just a little bit. I'm gonna have to just keep doing that as we're coming back. So we want to kind of stay on this course. I could always hit return to home, but then what'll happen is it'll try to go up way high, and you don't want to do that because you're going to be in too high of an airspace for how low the elevation is here on ground level. You know what I mean? Oh, look, we're starting to get choppy. So this is where maybe it's not very good 4G signal. So I want to be careful and head up a little bit. Just so when it does glitch, you know, and I can't see the ground, I can kind of make sure I'm not going to be running into the ground. So we'll go up a ways, a few hundred feet. There we go. Yeah, so we're hitting like a dead spot in 4G coverage. That's what I'm going to attribute this to. It's probably went down to like 3G or something, you know. And we're just getting really choppy area there. It's probably on the fringe of one antenna, and it's about to switch over to another antenna. Okay, still coming home great. And the wind's coming from my back right now where I'm sitting down. So when I come in, I'm gonna want to definitely land into the wind, right? So that we don't have a bad crash. Another reservoir. Let's check out this. Man, we have so much power left. This is amazing. Let's pitch the camera down and check out this reservoir. Check this out, guys. Wow. Awesome. You could literally fly all around Maui as long as the 4G or even 3G was good enough. Okay. Going in some old, dilapidated sugarcane fields because sugarcane has shut down here. Let's go up a little bit in altitude because we don't want to lose connection and then have an issue. So I'm just pulling up a bit, gaining some altitude. You can see from our launch position we're still negative 50 feet. So we're going to have to come up quite a bit more to avoid everything. I wonder if I was to hit return to home now, how high it would go. I think I have it set for like 150 meters. Getting a little pixelated, kind of a bad spot. There we go. So now we're 80 feet above its launch altitude. What it thinks it is. We're almost home. Nice. I think we're actually coming with the wind right now. 46 feet per second. We're going at a good clip. I'm going to hit return to home real quick, guys. So I'm hitting the button on the controller. One time. I just hit return to home. And let's see what it does. It's going up to 100 and 200. Wow, it's going pretty high up. Whoa. Is that right? Why is it going so high? Oh, you know why? Because, okay, if you don't know this about the Disco, what happens is when you hit return to home, it will try to go up to the highest elevation you went. Remember in the beginning I went a little bit high by accident and then I came back down. So we don't want to be this high, so I'm going to go down a little bit. Just watching my footage. There we go. And look at this kind of bad area here, even in this town area. It's probably just because the 4G is so congested. Let me see what Glimpse is saying. 20% of 4G, so not the best signal. Yeah. So we should be hearing it now. Are we still in RTH? I think I might have canceled it since I went down. And by the way, guys, this is quieter. There it is. So yeah, it did kind of go out of return to home. I'm going to turn here. I'm just kind of flying at line of sight now. So I'm going to turn, so we're kind of flying kind of with the wind, and then I'm going to come in and land this way. Nice. Look at that. West Maui Mountains. Whew. We'll go over these golf courses, and then we'll turn around. I really try to avoid this, but I'm kind of flying over houses and stuff. This is kind of cool. You see which way I turn in the blue area for which way I'm facing. That's a good way. I have the wind to my back now, so I want to be coming in right. See the blue cone? I want to be coming in right at the opposite direction of that blue cone. So we'll turn the craft a little bit to the left. That'll be perfect if we just kind of come in from that direction, turn around pretty soon here, and then we'll just come in directly opposite of this direction. Okay, guess we'll just fly out this way a bit. We're still at 90% power. My goodness, I hope my hat cam and everything's recording. I'm gonna check it real quick. Yep, hat cam and audio's still recording, so that's good. Might have been a little pause in the audio just for a second. But, oh, here's that valley again. Look at this. So, success, guys. And we're calling this one Night Fury, FYI. That's what Justin called it. Because it looks kind of like a Night Fury dragon. Remember from How to Train Your Dragon? And we're flying over cool valleys. Okay, so now, let's land this thing. So we're going to turn around. Turn directly around. So I'm going to go into my map. And I'm going to do a sweeping kind of left turn. Okay, a nice slow turn here. Right stick is just partially pulled to the left. And we're looking at our map with our disco, and I'm also looking at the video. Okay. And we just want to kind of make our landing approach nice and easy. Okay. So what I actually might do is hit return to home just so we're like coming in exactly the right path. You know what I mean? So let it go up. It's going to go a little high, and then we'll come back down. I just want to make sure it is going in exactly the right straight direction. And then I'll line it all up. Awesome. What a view, huh? Look at this Pukalani golf course. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay. So, coming in, I'm going to exit return to home. Let's see if I just press it once. Yeah. Whoa. Oh, it went into loiter. My bad. If you press return to home, I forgot it kind of goes into loiter. So I pressed return to home again. Isn't it interesting how it stabilizes that roll axis when you hit return to home? But we can't figure out how to stabilize it without hitting return to home. So I can see which park I'm in. I am going to cancel return to home by taking over. I just pushed down a little bit, and I'm going to take over. My height is still 400 feet, so I want to get down here. So Justin was saying get to about 30-foot altitude, and about 100 feet away, go ahead and press this landing button. So we'll try that, okay? So I'm going to try to do this all via FPV. I'm just a little bit concerned about landing in the right park. I don't want to get too close to these houses. So what I should do is keep going down, and then right when I get over this baseball field, you can see in my hat cam right there, if I'm at 30 feet, I'm gonna go ahead and press land. And so we're gonna just skim right over the top of this skate park. So I got my finger ready on the landing button. Coming down a little lower. Don't want to hit any power lines, that's for sure. Left a little bit. Let's see how close we can land towards the chair. Oh, left. Left. There we go. Going down. Try to get to 30 feet. There. And pressing landing. There it is. Oh, look at that. Oh, perfect. That was like 6 feet away from me, man. Right on. Thanks, Justin, for the tips on how to land this thing. Did you guys even hear that thing coming in? It was like totally silent. And that's what's cool about this frame, man, is you get like, only on takeoff you hear that really loud, like, you know, just cruising and stuff. It's like almost non-existent. So anyway, what do you guys think? I couldn't even, the camera is a little bit scratched, but I think that's just like grass scratches I can wipe off. Yeah, that camera is fine. I'm just glad everything still worked. Anyway guys, I will have had the FPV up and the 1080p. I'm still recording the iPad, and I do want to make sure that this iPad saves this recording, so I'm going to stop recording here. So just to feel the modem real quick. Yeah man, that is just barely warm. So I think this is a great spot for it. It doesn't look half bad either, and of course you could get a black one or paint it black if you didn't like the white sticking up. I think it's kind of cool because it looks different, you know. They got some kind of special antenna on there, which kind of looks neat, different than just a regular RC analog antenna. And by the way, Justin, UAVPAL, thank you so much for this mod and the diligent work on just making this thing super enjoyable, upgrading it. We can record way more video now if you just pop an SD card, micro SD, in the 4G modem there. The Night Fury, Justin, congratulations. You have something great going here, and I really do appreciate you sending this to me. Don't forget guys, check out Justin's channel. He's having videos on how to do this, and also flight videos too. I'll have that link in the description, as well as UAVPAL, and also all of the parts you need to complete your project on this plane. Lots more to come. That was just the maiden flight, so don't forget guys, subscribe, check out the playlist on the Night Fury. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. What's your John, honey? A fox. Cool.